What's going on, everybody? Phillip Siddiq show with my all over the place review of Prey. First of all, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, and if you look down at the bottom, we've added a little heart symbol there. You know, throw a couple of bucks to your brother. It don't cost much, or just do the like, or just share a couple of bucks. You know, keep the old man going. And as I said, this is going to be all over the place because I watched the Comanche dub. Some may ask, why did you watch the Comanche dub? I mean, it's in English. I appreciate that, but for me, I wanted to show them respect on redubbing that film in Comanche. It for them to be committed to that, a sense of authenticity. But I'm still going to watch the English version, because with the Comanche version, since I do not know Comanche or speak it, I had to really look. I had to really focus. I had to really listen hard and watch them act with their facial expressions and their body movements. That is a skill in itself. But I digress. Prey stars Amber Midthunder as Naru, Dakota Beavers as, I think it's Tabe. This is his first movie role. You did good, my man. You did good. Michelle Thrush as the, I guess, Aruka mom, and then you have Dane DeLegro as the Predator, the stripped down version of the Predator, non-armored, and Dan Trachtenberg, the director. I think he directed 10 Cloverfield Lane. He did well with this one. I enjoyed the heck out of it. As I said, my review is going to be all over the place because I watched the Comanche version. First scenes, you see just a wide expanse of the background, and you hear the wind blow. You see the open fields. Then you come across Naru and her brother, Tabi. Now, he's teaching her, I guess, about how to hold the bow still, how to aim. And if you listen closely, you hear her. She's like, so he shoots the eagle out of the sky. She's mad. But that tickled me, because that reminded me how an older brother with a younger sister would act. You know, I have another brother and then a baby sister. That reminded me, I had to stop, because it reminded me of when we were younger and my sister, she wanted to hang out with us. We, you know, big brothers, we didn't want her hanging out with us, because if we heard her, she's going to call our mother, and then she was going to call our own predator. We call him Uncle B, okay? And he would come over and handle business. But make sure I'm recording. Before I wasn't recording, so I want to make sure he'd come over and handle the business. So we told her, we would say, okay, well, look, we're practicing to be astronauts. We've already taken our test. So now you want to hang out with us, you have to be an astronaut. She says, okay. So living in an apartment, you have your washing machine and your dryers. I don't even know if they even have those in apartments anymore, but you have to pay money to use them. So my brother and I look and say, okay, what are we going to do to get her away from us? What are we going to do to get her out of here? Okay, look, this is what we'll do. So we told her, it's okay, look, to be an astronaut, you have to go into the dryer. We're not going to put any, she asked, are you going to put money in it? We said, no, we love you. You're our little sister. She said, okay. Well, so we put her in the dryer. And I can't remember who had the money, but one of us put in a dime and turned it on. So she's spinning around in the dryer. All of a sudden we start hearing these screams. We open the dryer up. She runs into the house. She runs, calls my mother. My mother calls Uncle B. And of course, because she was his patient, he comes over and he was our predator in the family. Okay, he was well prepared, very well prepared. So back to the movie. So we see Naru. She's digging roots and what the women do, and you could tell she's restless. It's like she's saying, I don't need to be here. Oh no, I told that story, as I said, because big brothers do that with little sisters. So we got a lot of love for our little sisters, but it was just that just had a memory for me, a memory flash. So anyway, Naru's digging up vegetables and roots and things. I guess for healing properties, that's what the women would do. So they get word later that a brave has been injured. So they go into the woods to find the brave, and Naru is leading. And I can't forget she has a little dog. That dog, man, give that dog an award. That dog helped save her butt a lot of times. So they go and they find the brave. He's been clawed up. They take care of him. She puts on the healing herbs, and she also gives him a taste of this orange flower. She puts it in his mouth. One of the braves says something. She does tell my man, be quiet. Give him some water. And he started to convulse a little bit. I don't know what that orange flower had in it, but I'm looking like, did it, give him pain relief or something, or a burst of energy? So now they have to get back to the camp. They built some stuff to get them back to the camp now. The brother, her brother, he is making, because they found tracks, but then she found a big track, a giant track. She found a track of the predator. Unbeknownst to her, the predator's tracking her. So she tries to tell him about the track, and they're like saying, okay, you're just hallucinating. Go sit in the back somewhere. So she's in the tree with the brave. This is at night. And the brave is telling her what he's going to do to the cougar or whatever it is. He pulls his bow back and he's going to do all this stuff. All of a sudden, he disappears. You hear this screaming. I jumped. The mountain lion or cougar jumped in the tree and it got him. So now she's by herself, and she's got a staff, and the cougar's, it's a standoff. I believe she hears a predator scream, and she looks, she sees the lights, and she gets distracted. The cougar jumps her. She stabs the cougar, falls to the ground, hits her head. She wakes up, she's back at the camp. And she asks her mom, and mom says, gives her something to drink. So she wakes up, they go outside because there's a ceremony. The son comes back with the cougar head and the cougar body. So now he's in the ceremony to be, I guess, like second in command, or to be second hunter, to be like the first hunter of the tribe. You could see on her face, she's looking at him, he looks at her, and she's looking like, you tell the truth. I killed the cougar. And then later, they're cheering the son on. He's up there in the front. She looks down at the ground, and you can see the hurt in her face, saying, my brother betrayed me. I could feel that hurt. Later, they get a chance to talk, and I believe the brother said, look, it's just you, me, and mom, okay? Now that I'm second, those other braves will have to respect you because you're my sister, even though they don't, of course. But they have to, because one of the braves, he marched off because he thought it was his. A little arrogant, little clown, and Naru and him get into a fight anyway. And when Naru bit him, I said, that's a woman. She fought, she whooped his behind. And they, of course, they tied her. The brother had left. They, tied her up watching, and the predator comes in, and they fight the predator. She gets to see the predator take them out. Now her little dog had gotten in a trap before. She picks up the trap because she has never seen anything like this. I don't think any of them have seen traps like this. So the dog gets trapped. She puts on the healing salve. on the dog's tail. Back to, and then there's another scene where the predator's invisible. The, excuse me, before she creates the axe with the long string on it, or the long rope, she's hunting rabbits, throws it, can't, and then she figures out how to make the axe extension, and she killed some rabbits. Now, it reminded me what, if I'm correct, a Japanese tool called a weapon called a masaguri. You have it's like an axe on the end, but it's called a kama. That's Kama, metal or some type of rope, and a lead weight at the end, where you swing the kama around. You can cut your victim, bring them to you, or you use the other end with the lead on the bottom with the chain, swing it around, catch them, and then bring them in, and then you take the kama and you cut them up. So she does that, and then she comes to a field, and she sees all these buffalo slaughtered. No skin, just all meat. That's it. That's all. They just left meat. She takes a flower, she puts it on the buffalo, and then she just says a prayer for the buffalo. Very, very, very spiritual. Unbeknownst to her, the predator is tracking her. She also finds a cigar. The predator sees that, takes a flower in his hand and the cigar. So she and dog are hunting. They come on this bluff, and then they see a bear is down from them, and he's eating a deer. So she's getting ready to shoot the bear. The close-up shot of how the bear got there, you see the wind changes direction. When you're hunting an animal, you want to stay downwind so the animal can't smell you. Her scent went down to the bear. The bear started looking around, and that's when they knew, okay, we've been discovered. So now the bear is going to go after them, and the bear goes after them. Actually, that dog, she tries to shoot the first arrow, bloop. The top string on the bow snaps off. It comes off. So she's now got to try to figure out how to get that back, but she doesn't lose her cool. Dog's barking. The dog charges the bear, and then has the bear change direction. So now she's got the bow ready. She's running down the hill to shoot the bear. Dog comes back, and she's looking at the dog. She shoots the bear, doesn't stop. And that's the scene you see where she's running in the water. She goes into a beaver dam, and then the bear comes in after her. And that's when she sees the predator. The predator's fighting the bear. She gets to see the fight. Invisible creature, and then kills the bear. And she sees all of that, blood on the predator. She runs away. She gets away. And now I believe she's telling her tribe, and they're like, man, be quiet. Just they don't believe her. They don't believe her. The predator is still tracking her, though. The Braves, she finds the Braves. So the son, he went off somewhere else. So she finds the Braves. And then they just start like abusing, punching her around because they don't want her around, even though she helped find the Brave because she's a tracker too. She has a dog and she's not afraid. She's very smart. She's thinking all this stuff through as she's going through, but they beat her up, tie her up. And then the predator shows up, and she sees the predator take out these Braves and things, and she gets freed, which is a good thing that she gets freed. And then she gets caught in a trap. And now the predator finds her, and he's pulling on the chain. And I'm thinking, the predator's thinking, there's no honor in this. Trapping animals, there's no honor in this. So he goes back into invisibility mode, and here come the French trappers. They knock her out, put her in a cage. And they start, hollering at her and teasing her in the cage. And unbeknownst to her, they caught her brother too. He's in a cage. But at, I think the timestamp, between 55 and 56, you hear one of the French people yell, Raphael. Raphael, Raphael. Yuck, 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 yuck. Immediately I'm thinking, wait a minute, that's the name on that damn gun. That was the name of that gun. So they cut the brother up, and they burn down part of the forest, and they use them as bait. They're tied around a tree. They have their traps out, and they're waiting for this thing to come through, this monster to come through. And it looks like the brother and daughter are having a heart to heart. He's talking to her, she's talking to him. Very, very good scene, by the way. So the predator comes through, and now he's using like the new weapons. Flying disc, he has that invisibility, of course, a two-sectional staff, which we saw him utilize against the Braves. The net, we've seen that before. We'll get to that. The net, the flying daggers. So it's the, when he does this, the red dots, which split into three. So I guess each predator has their own, as we know, they have their own type of weapon. The whipping stick with the metal, the shield, I mentioned that, and the arm and a double knife. So they witness all of this. He's taking these guys out, he's slicing them up, catching them up. He gets cut though, and then what's her name? Nora, she gets cut. So they're in the camp. She's in the camp, and then Raphaela's in the camp. So she meets Raphael. Well, let me go back. And when she's in the cage, he's talking to her in her native tongue. And I don't know if I know he works for them. I don't know if he's part of her tribe or something. But she was so shocked and mad and hurt that, someone like you would work for these whatever you want to call them, just skinning animals and taking the hides. So fast forward, he gives her the gun, and he's trying to tell her how to use it, because that can help her beat, this thing that they've seen. Well, it doesn't go to plan. Well, no, she gave him some of the, I guess, that stuff to try to help him. But, Predator comes through, gets him. She gets away. And then her brother comes back. Now they're both fighting this thing. They're both fighting the Predator. The final scene of her seeing her brother, you could tell that they were whooping the Predator. They were doing really, really, really well. But the watching in Comanche was such a blessing, because you have to close your eyes, you have to listen, and you hear a twig break behind the brother. And he felt it. It's behind me. And I think he tells her, you have to avenge me and avenge our tribe, because this thing is going to kill me. And he did. He killed him. So she sees that, and then she goes, and she's at the river washing her hands, and it looks like she's crying because she has the blood of her brother on her hands. But then who does she see across the riverbank? Big Beard with the cigar that was left from the people who butchered all those buffalo. So she uses him for bait, and she's talking to him. He's screaming, talking French. So then she ingests the orange flower. And then she puts the war paint, the black strip, down here. So now I guess she knows I'm either going to kill, it's going to kill me. So the Predator takes care of Big Beard. She fights the Predator with Dog's help, of course, and with the axe and everything. So she's getting thrown around, but then she's getting some licks in too. Now, many folks are saying, and now back in the camp, see when she's fighting all these guys, if you watch her fight, she's fighting low to the ground. The guys are fighting like above, trying to grab her. A couple of kicks were like suspect, but more or less she and her brother, they fought low to the ground. And it's hard fighting somebody low to the ground, so I commend them for that. Now, it was believable for me. They fought low to the ground to gain the advantage. So anyway, she's fighting the Predator. She gets a chance to shoot the Predator in the back of the head. Predator tries to get her. But she's always thinking. She's always like trying to one step ahead. How can I do this? How can I fix this? Fast forward, she gets the Predator. The Predator thinks he's got her, and she sets the perfect trap. The Predator's mask around, and those little flying daggers, pow, takes the Predator out. Fast forward, she is now coming back to the tribe. Mom's happy to see her. Other people are happy to see her. She has a Predator head and she has a gun. Now, there's a ceremony when a brave kills something and brings it to the chief. Now, she throws her head down. She has the green blood of the Predator painted on her face. She throws a gun to the chief. The chief looks at the gun. Raphael, 1715. Where have we seen this before? I'm like, okay, well, I digress. So the chief is now looking, I believe, to his wife. Okay, what do I do? We've never had a woman do this. What am I supposed to do here? So one of the other ladies brings up the staff. You have to do the ceremony. She did all the things to win. And they did the ceremony. And you could see she was so overcome with emotion, because this was like, and the mother was so happy. This is my son, now my daughter. Now, so see, she will be taken care of. I believe most of the Braves got wiped out. And it was a touching scene to see her get the celebration. So pray. I'm going to watch it in the English. I'm definitely going to watch it in the English. But watching it in the Comanche, oh man, a new level of respect for both of them who did the Comanche language. All the actors who spoke in the Comanche language for this particular film. So yeah, it's worth a look, you guys. If you can watch both the English and the Comanche, it would behoove you to do that. I'm Phillip Siddiq, but let's see. Okay. Now, here we go. Social media, I think it was Jesse Ventura and Bill Duke. Naru, welcome to the Predator universe. You know, she did well. They did well in the first one too. However, not as one YouTuber says, not so fast. Pepperidge Farm remembers. There was another guy who fought a predator. Predator 2. Lieutenant Mike Harrigan, Danny Glover, in 1999. That movie was so good. So instead of in the first one, Predator, you have Predator in the jungle. This one, Predator 2, was the concrete jungle. And we did not know that predators have been coming here for years. We had no idea. We just always thought it was the one. Now, and then we saw, one, and then there was the 2. And Predator 2, we saw another predator, but we had no idea what we were about to see later on. If anyone tells you during that period of time when that movie came out, because I certainly did not read anything, maybe somebody knew them, but I really highly doubt it, that there were a whole species that just went to different planets to hunt. That was exposed in Predator 2. Also, the similar net was used in Prey, was used in Predator 2 against Lieutenant Harrigan and one of the Jamaican voodoo posse. One of them got the, quote, net treatment. And that's when we saw, when Danny Glover beat his predator, that's when he was in the ship, and when he saw his predator, all those skulls of all the prey that he had killed, and he had killed that one predator in the ship. All the other predators, invisibility, so they watched, and they saw, and they all revealed themselves. Man, in the movie theater, man, we just, we were cursing and, oh, no, because we thought, how's he going to take all these? He ain't going to do it. The net was used on him too. So after they do a little quick ceremony, they take the predator he killed, by the way, and chop his arm off too. The older predator turns to him, he pulls a gun out and says, take it. Throws Mike Harrigan, Danny Glover, a gun. The gun, Raphael, can't remember the last name, 1715. So that's a tie-in to Prey. This gun came from back then. So it was not the predator's first hunt. That predator in Prey was his first hunt. but not the Predator's first hunt on Earth. No, no, no. Predator's been long. They've been here a while. Fast forward. Alien versus Predator. Sanaa Lathan, Alexa Woods. They call her Lex in the film. She led a team to find this, I guess, this pyramid or energy source, which was a trap. This is when we find out the Predators have been here a long time. They were here during the age of the Aztecs. And if I'm correct, the Aztec civilization predates Native Americans, Comanche, Apache, all of those. So they've been here a long time. They were armored. So all I'm saying, and the character Lex, played by Sanaa Lathan, she was the first human in the films that I've seen who was blooded. Blooded means she was marked. So she was they made her part of the tribe. And she was part of one of the Predators' tribes because they both teamed up together to kill, the aliens. So that's all I'm saying, I'm just saying it's a big fam. We just don't want to leave everybody out, that's all I'm saying. Danny Glover, Mike Harrigan, Sanaa Lathan, Lex, Alexa Woods. That's all. And Alexa Woods was Waylon Bishop, who she was leading the team. Waylon Bishop was the robot in Aliens with Sigourney Weaver. Oh, man. So it's getting hot in here. So subscribe to the video, like the video, share the video. Also, we have a little heart symbol down there. If you want to leave a couple of dollars or something, we would appreciate it. Believe me, we would. So I'm signing out of here. Leave your comments below. What do you think? Are you going to watch Prey? Are you going to watch Predator 1, 2, AVP, and Prey? I'm going to watch Prey again, the English version. But I was so happy that I chose to watch the Comanche version first. So I'm out of here. I got to get some cooling in here. So all y'all, you take care. I'll see you again later.